Oh yeah, pipe smokers. Happy Tuesday. It is April 1st and I have no April Fool's jokes at all. I just don't do that. Um yeah, we have a good smoke together tonight and I want to tell you about the tobacco crop I'm going to be planting. Yeah, grab your favorite pipe, grab your favorite blend and grab your favorite beverage and let's start something on fire. And yeah, we'll talk about, the plans I have. And, I think you'll enjoy them. I spent about 2 hours looking up different tobacco plants that I wanted to plant and for blending. And yeah, I'll tell you about it, all right? So grab those. I'll be back in a nanosecond. Yeah, so I've got this Viking Bowl number 210 that I bought brand new. Oh, geez, it's got to be about 3 years ago. It's a beautiful pipe, and you can smoke that thing like a train. I mean, those walls are way more than a quarter of an inch thick. And in that, we have some pirate cake. Yeah. And the pirate cake, it's just a great Latakia blend. It's really an all-day smoke. It's not going to kill your tongue or anything. And it comes in a crumble cake. You can easily break a piece off, rub it out. You don't cut it, nothing, and you're ready to roll. Spread it out on your cutting board. The moisture content's perfect where you don't have to let it dry out on your cutting board. And you just load it in your pipe and smoke it, just like I'm doing right now. Yeah. Let's start something on fire. Mm. So I'm pretty stoked. Getting ready for my tobacco crop this year. Over the winter, I was like, I want to grow some of my own tobacco to blend with. And I have done that before, but I had no clue what I was doing. I still don't. But I have this book, which it's out of print right now, but you can find it. How to Grow Your Own Tobacco from Seed to Smoke by Ray French. Yeah, I got that. That thing set me back like $40. All right, it's hardcover. This guy is the guy that they call when any huge tobacco company has a problem anywhere in the world. That's the guy they call, and he wrote a book. It's recent. But for some reason, it's out of print. I don't know. Smoking must not be popular anymore. Whatever. So he gives you a step-by-step process. So let me tell you what I ordered. I ordered 3 different varieties of tobacco. I didn't want to overdo it. My garden is 16 foot wide and 32 inches long, or 30, it's 16 by 32 foot. So it's not a tiny garden, but it's not huge. So the first thing I did, today's April 1st, and we still have frost. Okay. For the next 4 weeks, we're going to have frost. And actually, I'm probably about 2 weeks late in starting my tobacco, but it's going to be okay. So I bought 4 of these starter kits. They're trays and they have drainage and stuff. They sit up about 5 inches high, the clear top on top. It's got, they're great. Let's just put it that way. I bought 16 quarts of fine starter soil, which is what tobacco calls for. I have a whole table in front of me. All that stuff's going to fit on. I bought the pump up sprayer, for water. And these trays have drainage. And then as far as the tobacco seeds I bought, I was looking through and I found this one heirloom tobacco seed company I really liked. Like I said, before I bought the seeds, I researched it for like 2 hours. I bought Golden Burley. 1,000 golden burley seeds. Now, tobacco seeds are actually smaller than a flea. All right? If you've ever seen a flea, they're a little bit smaller. They're tiny. They're just like little dots. So what you do, you take your planters, you sprinkle a little in here, a little in there, a little in there, and you leave them on top. Then you spray them down real good with good water. And then within 7 to 14 days, they start to germinate. When they start to grow, you pluck out the small ones. Because you're going to have like, if a pod is about that big, you're going to have like 7 to 10 plants in there. So you want the biggest plants as the ones that you're going to transplant. Germination time, they start popping up 7 to 14 days. Full germination is about, you want them to be about 5-6 inches high, the plants. By now you've got them all thinned out, so there's only one plant per cell. And then you transplant them. So where I live in upstate New York, I mean, it's still, we got some weather that we still have, snow that's going to come in. We still have frost. So really, I'm kind of starting them at the right time, because in my area, you should start them in late May, early June. They should be, so that gives me it's April 1st, so all of April, all of May, and then in June, I can transplant them. They'll have 8 weeks of indoor growth, over 70 degrees. So let me read you what I did. I bought Virginia Gold. I bought Golden Burley. And I bought Mohawk Nicotiana Rustica. The Mohawk Nicotiana Rustica is like extremely high in nicotine content. So I'm going to use those 3 for blending, along with my Black Cavendish, my Perique, my, Latakia, and so forth. Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked. I really am. Yeah, pretty stoked. When I tried growing tobacco before, I had great soil, and I have great soil now. Nitrogen rich. I put an ad out there for a guy to come out and rototill all this mushroom mulch into my 16 by 32-foot garden. I'm waiting to hear back, on some suggestions. But when I grew it before, it got like 10 to 12 foot high. And then I saw like little black spots under the leaves. And I was like, what the heck is that? Is that like tobacco seeds that the plant has on the leaves? It wasn't. It was aphids. And so I went to the local farm family store, and she was like, well, it's probably too late. All right, but spray this soap solution on them. It'll suffocate the aphids, and then just like wash it off and rub them off. Well, that didn't work out too good. So my first tobacco crop was a definite failure. I gotta pee. I'll be back in a nanosecond. All right, we're letting this bowl cool down, so I've graduated to a short cigarette. So here we are 15 years later, but what I'm doing is I'm setting myself up for success. All right, I bought this book, which you can all see, and I've done a lot of research on YouTube, and I've spent a couple $100 between grow lights and, the fucking, starter soil, because it requires extra fine starter soil, the pods that you put the soil and the seeds in, the sprayer, the seeds themselves were the cheapest things. I bought 3 different varieties, which I named before, 1,000 seeds a piece. And they were only like $12 with free delivery. So we're gonna see what happens, yeah. Then after they start growing in here, I'll transplant them outside. I know how to do that. And but then I got to figure out, all right, should I buy other leaves, like Latakia leaves and other that, full leaves, and make them true plug tobacco? Or should I slice them up, the leaves themselves, after they're dried, and then use, like, that's Cornell and Deal Latakia right there as a blend. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. Yeah. Cheers, by the way. Oh, yeah. So I don't know. Like these plants that I grew before, these tobacco plants, I don't remember the variety. But they were huge. 10 to 12 foot tall, with leaves like they were monstrous leaves. Beautiful flowers on them. So, I guess between this book and, some research I've done, I've invested in myself to succeed with a tobacco crop this year. And I'm reading about these different varieties, and some of them are sun-dried. You just pick the leaf and you hang it out in the sun. Some of them, you have to pick the leaf and you hang it in a barn, which I have. So I don't know. We'll see. The crop should be ready to transplant by June 1st. And it should be ready to harvest by late August, which is still very hot here in upstate New York. And then, I'll have to dry them, If I got to dry them in the house, I'll hang them from the ceiling, I got 2 spare bedrooms upstairs. So I think I'll be able to make some good blends out of what I picked. Because all the blends, I've never tried the Mohawk Nicotiana Rustica. That's super high in nicotine content. I've used Burley and I've used Virginia's to blend with. And then I have other blending stuff here. So we'll see how it goes, Yeah. This pipe smokes phenomenal. So like I said, I put an ad on Facebook for a reasonable guy to come rototill my garden. I've got some mushroom mulch, which is like nitrogen rich, which plants love. And it holds some moisture in good. I got a quote 2 years ago. A guy came out to do my 16 by 32 foot garden. That's pretty small. That guy's going to spend like 45 minutes here. He quoted me $300. I was like, dude, 2 years ago I had it done for like $60, but I can't find the guy's number anywhere. He's like, all right, I'll do it for 60, and then I never heard from him again. I'll tell you what, this pirate cake is so good. If you like a nice, mild, I would consider it mild to between mild and semi-strong, pirate cake is unbelievable. It's made by Cornell and Diehl. Yep. It's great. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. I've got things to do. Actually, who wants to see a little pipe resto? We got this dried out freaking briar that I've deghosted. I've reamed it out. I've got this dried out stem. I got to protect the emblem on the side. It's got all kinds of shit all over it. Who wants to see what I can make that look like? I'll show you in a moment. All right. Yeah, so you saw the pipe before, and what do you think about that now? Huh? Not too bad. Oh yeah. That's ready and for sale. Not by me. My buddy Ben from Redeemed Pipes. Yeah, that one's ready to be bagged and tagged. Paul the Pipe Guy over and out.